Welcome to another Founder Wisdom Pod with Rush Shahani. He is co-founder at persona.ai. It's basically GPT for sales. He's part of YC Winter 23 batch. He's all about generative AI. Apparently, he's also next LinkedIn. So we're gonna have fun today. By the way, I'm a power user or about to be a power user of Persona. I love what the team is building here. It's basically a G sheet with GPT assistance. You get personalized cold email at scale, something you cannot do in most very popular apps nowadays, like Apollo, even Ample Market, and so forth. So, Rush, say a little hello, introduce yourself, and tell us a bit more about Persona.
Yeah, hi, Charles. Thanks so much for the awesome intro. Yeah, I'm Rush. I'm the co-founder of Persona AI, and what we really do at Persona is consolidate a bunch of your data sources for prospecting. And what we're able to do is use sales triggers to understand when is the best time for you to reach out to a prospect and who are the people you should be going after. So that way, sales teams can focus their efforts on the people that are most likely to convert.
So I'm looking at your background. I hadn't checked your LinkedIn profile before, and it's quite interesting and exciting at the same time. So you started in high school and you were a computer science teaching assistant. Tell me about your story. Like, what type of kid were you?
Yeah, for sure. I think I've always been interested in computer science. I think since a very young age. I think I was like 4 or 5, maybe when I started, really getting into like playing around on it a lot. I I remember when I was really young, my mom actually enrolled me. I think I was in third or fourth grade. My mom actually enrolled me in like a boot camp for mostly college students. So I've just been like, always like super interested in it. And that boot camp was really about Photoshop, not about code, but it's sort of what really got me into, programming and things like that, that I started a few years after. But yeah, I was super fascinated with, CS and computer science from a young age. I just found it really fascinating being able to build something new out there. And it's awesome, like also seeing how things have really changed over the last couple of years, now you're seeing the AI wave, but if you look at the last 10 years, it was really difficult to do simple tasks. But now you have, web apps doing all sorts of different things that you don't need to spend too much effort on.
And then the early days, quote unquote, of Shopify. How was that?
Yeah, it was actually, I'd say like a really awesome internship. So it was like one of my first jobs, first internships where the company was still pretty small during that time when I started. I believe there were only about like I think 300 engineers or something along those lines. And I initially planned to just do one internship there. But I always heard of, there's some cool project going on. I was like, let me be part of that. And the company grew like crazy over the year that I was there. So I interned there for about a year. And during that year, by the end of the year, there were 85% of people that joined after me. So Shopify was really on its like hyper growth during that time. So really awesome to be part of a rocket ship. I think you get to learn so much. Like during the internships, I think some of the things we worked on was building a CI system from scratch for iOS and Android. So that's making a CI system from scratch. And the other project I worked on was, doing iOS, making their new iOS app from scratch.
Hmm.
So I was really, building the foundations for the company at that time. They were trying to revamp all their architecture. So super cool to like, be part of the ride there.
Right. And then LinkedIn, you did a feature that improved the search results, right?
Yeah. So I was mostly focused on the search team. So, helping you, my team was actually called query formulation. So we help, the moment you get on LinkedIn, the first thing people do in search is they start typing in the search bar. So we show you recommended searches that you can do. We try to predict what you might be looking for. So that was the team that I worked on, and I worked on the back end and the AI as well, being able to, show you the right results and the API layer as well. The clients are connecting to LinkedIn. How do we show them the right results in a really fast way? There's so much stuff going on behind the scenes, but we really focus on making it easy for the user to understand, and making sure the quality is up to the mark there.
How old were you back then when you had these roles?
Yeah, so LinkedIn was actually my first job out of college, and I worked there for about almost three and a half years.
So you were like 19 or what?
No, I was 22.
Which is
Yeah,
still a pretty
it was
good
after
job for a
college.
starter. And then Element AI, a lot of people don't know Element AI, but it's like was the most famous AI company in Montreal, founded by Yoshua Bengio, which is a
Oh yeah.
godfather in AI, and you built a model to detect hate speech.
Yeah. I think that was an internship that I really just wanted to get my hands on, because I wanted to work with a natural language processing team. And I heard, they've worked on some really great stuff there. I didn't even have my master's at the time. Like I still actually don't have my master's, but it was really cool being in that team because all the people on my team were PhDs or masters. So really cool being part of that team where they work closely with Joshua Bengio on different things as well. So he was setting the vision for the team, and my senior managers, they were like working closely with him on different aspects there.
Did,
Um,
did you
really,
studied what
yeah.
happened at that company? Like ServiceNow acquired them? Like why such a
Yeah.
fast acquisition? Seems like it was a bit rushed.
Yeah, definitely. I've been keeping track of that as well. Yeah, I think the company was really good at research. I think they had a solid research foundation. They had the best researchers on there, and very good projects as well. I think what ServiceNow would probably help them do is productionize it a bit more. So how do you convert research to, practical applications? The blend of, the application layer and the research. I feel like the company was, very strong on research, but they needed the support on, actually productionizing it. So I think ServiceNow is a good play because, they can complement each other. Um,
Or it was
yeah.
just a part of Frank Slutman's plan to grow and just continue being on a warpath, even if there wasn't like no practical application. I do think there were practical application, and Element AI was arguably an AI agency, probably the best AI agency in the world.
Yeah, I think especially at that time, at that time, there were not a lot of people talking about generative AI. This was, I believe, like the beginning of 2019 and late 2018. We were one of the only companies, like big companies out there with so much focus on research besides the Google and Microsoft and Facebook. There were not that many, AI research companies out there, and we were working on Gen AI back then. So, when we were working on hate speech detection, it was using a BERT, which is a language model, plus like a bunch of other AI models on top of that. But the space was very new, so we had to sort of, pioneer the research going into it. And our team was really awesome. Like, they had done a lot of research in the space, in the generative AI space. When it was still, not as hot as it is right now. Now it seems like everyone is talking about it.
And how do you define hate speech? What's your definition of it?
Yeah, I think hate speech, it's very important to keep in mind, what's the difference between, freedom of speech and hate speech. But the amount of hate speech out there was really shocking to me. I didn't realize like how much hate speech there is out there. Because we were trying to quantify and find how much space hate speech is out there, how much of it is racist, sexist, out there, and it's just insane the amount of hate speech out there. So we really wanted to bring awareness to this issue, and we were working with Amnesty International, to pioneer this, help fund this research as well. And they were the project was called Troll. So we were trying to find out how much of it is hate speech, and how do we accurately, what's the best way to find out if it's hate speech or not. And we created like an experiment where we had a web page on, and people could go and find out, is this hate speech, is this not hate speech. And there was a report that the company built, with all the different hate speech stats, and how much percent is hate speech out there. What are some ways we can detect that. I see a lot of companies working actively on solving this issue. There's a couple companies in our YC batch as well, who are focused on helping social media companies, or marketing companies, like being able to figure out are they reaching the right people in the right way. Is this language that's considered bad? Are users on their platform abusing it? How do you detect that?
Interesting. Well, in my opinion, hate speech is, the first definition was the intention to hurt the other, but some people don't even have enough consciousness of that. And it's just that they're in massive pain and they don't even realize that they are outsourcing that pain, right? Their glass is always full of pain and they always have to spill it to other glass down below them. Yeah, that would be it. And then the second thing that caught my attention is that, is this actually toxic or beneficial for social media companies? Because hate, brings attention, it brings likes, it brings share because it's drama.
Yeah,
It's just like our fascination with gore or to feel fear with horror movies, as humans. So we like drama.
yeah,
Most of us, like 99% of us, like drama, unless
yeah,
if you reprogram yourself. So, but yeah, like Twitter, for example, has become quite toxic. I
yeah,
even dump, like, by default, most of my toxic stuff in my mind, I dump it there, not to hurt people, but just to document my own psychological state, and analyze it afterward and be like, oh, maybe Charles wasn't feeling good that way, that day. Now,
yeah,
my question for you is, yeah, how do you distinguish hate speech from just like a friend trying to make fun of his friends, And should we completely, entirely eliminate hate speech from social media? And when does that incorporate freedom of speech? So there's like three
yeah,
questions.
yeah. Yeah, and I think a lot of people have, tried to discuss, is this something we should prevent? Is this something we should stop? And I personally believe it should be checked, because it's a huge issue, the amount of hate speech out there, on social media. So what a lot of companies are doing is that, they have people on their team, on the trust and safety abuse teams. And the AI sort of flags, this is considered harmful content. And then oftentimes they have people also check in, like CSM, or like, different people at the company, just verify, is this hate speech? Is this, considered something bad? Should we hide this person? Is this person, a threat to the people on the platform? Because you want to keep people on your platform safe. So they can block the user, they can, flag it further, they can escalate it even more, shut down the person's account. So these are some techniques that companies do. They have a human in the loop as well, in addition to the AI being able to tell, is this harmful or not?
Interesting. Let's also talk about cold email, which leads
Oh
to
yeah.
persona, right? Because and spam most specifically, because hate speech is sort of like spam, right? Just pollutes the well. And if you get enough of it, well, any drinkers of that water may get poisoned after some percentage. And arguably persona could amplify that. What do you think is the role of AI into cold email? What could be the positive flip side of the medal where an engine like persona could lead us and email to, and what is the negative side that could potentially occur?
Yeah, so we actually take a very strong stance against the spray and pray approach. And as you might have seen, with AI, there's people sending tons of content out there, often spammy content. But a lot of providers actually, Google, and even if you saw the outreach thing that came out, they're gonna be putting more strict restrictions about, cold emailing. If people have a certain spam percentage, like let's say you send an email and a very small percentage of your emails are even reported as spam, they'll block your email account from being sent. So a lot of companies are starting to take action on, the amount of the spam out there, because if you just spam all the people with messaging without even targeting the person correctly, that's not good. Like no one wants to receive like hundreds of emails of spam in their inbox every single day. So we take a very strong stance against that, is that your messages need to be hyper targeted to just the people who are your ICP. So what we do at Persona is refine your ICP. So for example, if you're like a developer operations company and you have to reach out to people that have an authentication system, you want to help them improve their authentication system, you don't spam all the software companies out there in the world. You only target people that have the specific authentication system that you're looking for and send them a message that can actually help them. So maybe you tell them, your authentication can be improved by using these steps. This is a white paper that we made for you. So going that extra step by reaching out people who can actually benefit through your solution versus just, spamming people. And you'll see a lot of companies, just like how Google is introducing the limit. We'll see a lot more restrictions, I think, in the coming years, where there's going to be tons of AI content. I'm sure even right now, if you look at our feeds, at least half of it is, written with the help of AI. It's a little scary to also see, what might happen down the line when AI start talking to each other. So I'm sure there'll be more, blockers in place to prevent that from happening. And yeah, that's why our intention with Persona is to really help people not do that. And fight the crowd and the noise by going after people that are actually most likely to convert and benefit from what you're trying to sell.
Right. And why did you choose AI outreach as a niche in the YC program? Did Persona started that as an idea?
Yeah.
Is that how you entered the program?
Yeah, great question. Actually, me and my co-founder, we had a side project while we were working at LinkedIn, where we would, help companies write marketing content, sales content out there. And this was the time, when not a lot of people were using GPT. It was, I believe, 2020. And we just left it running on the side, and we started to consult with a lot of sales companies, and we found out that sales companies wanted very different niche use cases. They wanted to make sure the data that they input in the GPT was good. So we really started to focus on the data issue, being able to give you the right data into your GPT and also fine tune it on your business. So we were consulting with companies, and it naturally happened that this was the idea we would work on at YC.
Nice. And who was your mentor? Was it Gary, or like who coached you
Yeah,
throughout the
yeah,
program?
yeah. So our main YC group partners were Aaron and Pete. So
What did they teach
Pete
you
was the
throughout?
co-founder of Optimizely. Yeah,
And
they
Soroker.
taught us a lot of. I think YC was an amazing experience. I think the mentorship, but also having access to, being part of a cohort. You can learn a lot through your teammates and your batchmates. It really teaches you the foundations of, how to start a company. What does it mean to actually care about what you're building for your customers? How do you talk to your users? What's the importance of that? um like, what are the different steps to not only close your round after YC, but also help you, the next step after that is finding product market fit. So what are the things that you need in place for you to find the PMF? Lots of good advice. And what's good about YC is that you also get access to an internal forum, and that forums is really helpful because, let's say we're doing a product launch at Persona, we can just make a post in there and, ask users for feedback. It makes the loop a lot faster to iterate. So that's what YC is really good for.
What do you have in terms of top three goals for next year with Persona?
Yeah, so we recently just started our new platform, our web platform. So we want to scale that more. It's in private beta right now. So we want to, make it accessible, have a lot of users really use our enrichment features and our workflow features, being able to automate a lot of their sales pipeline, and also continue to grow our enterprise plans. We've been working on our enterprise plans right from the beginning. So continue scaling that. We have a bunch of different integrations planned as well. Based on, working with our current customers, we want to grow the amount of workflows that you can do. So that's our goal for the year. Really get to work with our customers. I think that's the biggest thing, and build a community around it. We want to be able to, teach people what are the best ways that they should be doing sales in 2024.
So what are your main growth channels you have? I mean, I discovered you through YC, so I'm a weirdo. And I started using the product, saw potential. I'm like, let's partner, see if I can build some interesting case studies. So far, so good. I'll promote to my audience and so forth. But what are growth channels? Do you actually cold email people? Do you cold LinkedIn them? Like, what's your growth channels?
Yeah, our growth channels are so the best performing ones for us have been, LinkedIn reach outs and email reach outs. So we use our own platform to, automate the process of finding the right people to go after. And really dog fooding our platform has also been, a huge way of how we find improvements, because we spend the whole day in the Persona platform, talk to our users, being able to, target them correctly. So as we figure out, this is someone we should reach out, then we add that into Persona to make sure the next time we run it, it's, reaching out to those people that are highly converting.
The best
Yeah, we also
strategy.
integrated with smart leads, and we really like that. Seen a lot of, good success on smart leads, being able to manage a bunch of accounts, not just for ourselves, but also for our clients. It's been really helpful.
Smartly, their ascending platform, right?
Yeah, it's similar to Instantly, actually.
What about Apollo?
Yeah, so Apollo is also good as well. We integrate with them for sending, for those who have an Apollo subscription. But what I like about Smart Leads and Instantly is you can, manage multiple accounts. It also helps us onboard our clients, if they haven't used an email outreach tool before. Smart Leads is good. It lets you sort of manage their through a portal. that we can access and, take in their information and integrate that into persona so we can check, are they reaching out to the right people? And we built integrations to automatically detect, are these people opening their emails? What's the percentage rate like? Are they even reaching out to the right people? And over time, our AI just gets better and better because it's trying to identify who are the best people to go after. So we built that sort of loop that, as you send out an email, you learn, has it been opened? Has it been read? Has the person booked a call? It's also integrated in your CRM. So, whether you're using HubSpot or Salesforce, you can learn more about, has this person actually closed the sale? That's a sign that, the person is a good fit the moment they make a sale. So we take all this data back and, improve your processes using that.
What features do you have on the roadmap for 24?
Yeah, so we really want to get, more into the ecosystem, more integrations, whether that's different email campaign managers. Right now we have Instantly, Smart Leads, Apollo, SalesLoft. We have SalesLoft and Outreach as well. So we want to, expand that, give people the ability to manage more workflows. I think, Charles, you also gave us a bunch of feature requests. So really prioritizing what our customers want. And I think helping shape the new way of selling. Previously, sales reps would spend tons of time trying to research a company. So bringing them the research at ease, we've built a persona AI agent that is actually able to, answer any questions about a company. But we want to make that deeper and better. We'll be doing a post, about the agent too, just to teach people how to use agents.
There you go. Where can people find out more about you, Rush?
Yeah, so our website is persona.ai, persana.ai, and at LinkedIn as well. Happy to connect on LinkedIn. Yeah.